It's all set. It's all set.
Well, yeah, it's fine. If you got the time, and that tend to get just tell me. And here it's fine. I'm all down tonight. But now I might be mistaken.
Geico Motorcycle. Great rates for great rides.
Raindrop of roses and whiskers on kittens. Strike out the petals and warm woolen mittens. Brown paper packages tied up with strings. These are a few of my favorite things. I simply remember my favorite things. And then I don't
Daniel Murphy will lead it off. He's been everything for the Mets. Home run in 6 straight postseason games. That's a record. You see that bottom line. I mean, this is just out of nowhere. 7 home runs this postseason. Never hit more than 4 home runs in any calendar month in 7 seasons in the big leagues. And how about being on the list with Luke Gehrig? 1 or more hits, 1 or more runs, 1 or more RBIs in 7 straight postseason games. And he goes up there hammering at the first pitch. Strike 1 underway in the 4th inning. Mets batting down 1.
Joe, I really think he got on that home run tear and it shocked everybody, including the pitchers he was facing. And you've already seen Volquez now has gone to a different game plan than what Murphy has seen a lot of in the last 2 postseason rounds.
That's into center field, and Murphy's got another hit. That is his 17th hit of the postseason. For more on Daniel Murphy, a free agent to be, down to Ken Rosenthal we go.
Joe, Royals pitching coach Dave Eiland had a very interesting comment yesterday on Murphy, saying he's very comfortable right now. I'll leave it at that. Eiland obviously was referring to the fact that Murphy has not been pitched inside, certainly not up and in. Of the 152 pitches he has seen this postseason, only 6 were classified as up and in. Only 4 of those were strikes. The Royals are going to have to work him in to get him out.
He's 1 for 2 tonight. It's the first hit of the night. It belongs to Murphy. No surprise there. Cespedes pops it up. Out is Zobrist. Had to go a long way, 1 down. 1 on, 1 out. Duda coming up. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Chevrolet. Find new roads. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by DirecTV. Don't just watch TV, DirecTV. This city is all lit up. Whether it's the Power and Light District or really anywhere, they are alive and loving the Royals here in Kansas City. Packed into Kauffman Stadium, where the Royals have been playing since 1973. Ball 1 outside the Duda, renamed it Kauffman Stadium in 2009.
And I bet Kauffman Stadium hasn't seen a shift like this, not back in George Brett's day. Look at where the third baseman, the shortstop, and the second baseman play, and this is double play depth. Normally, the second baseman's out in the right field grass, but that's how deep they play him and how much they overplay with 1 out here in the inning.
Duda hit 27 home runs during the regular season, and he is more than capable of getting hot and doing in this World Series what Daniel Murphy has done with the long ball to this point in the postseason.
Yeah, he's extremely streaky on both ends of the spectrum, both hot and cold. And that's actually been living by the home run ball. A home run in 10 consecutive games, dating back to the end of the regular season. That's 4 hitters in this Mets lineup where you only have to defend half of the infield. Kansas City, the exact opposite. That's why Kansas City is a better rally team. They use the entire field.
Hard hit and base hit. Murphy will turn and go to third. There won't be a play, and it's first and third with one out here in the fourth. And he somehow found a hole to the right side of that infield. That was smoked.
Well, he hits the ball right where Moustakas has to make a decision. This ball goes there. He now has to try to beat Murphy to third. It's a foot race, so Murphy knows he is now first and third all the way. That's the one thing that happens with this shift. Now you've allowed a guy first and third without even thinking about it. Normally, he may not be going to third base right there, but Murphy knew as soon as that ball's through, there's nobody at third. It sets up their inning nice.
Base running has been a plus for Murphy in this postseason. You think back to Game 5 of the division series at Dodger Stadium. There he is, 90 feet away. First and third, one out for d'Arnaud. The Mets catcher. Ball one from Volquez.
Now, Murphy's watched that defense all summer, how they defend Duda. He's got that in his mind, and like you said, last game right here too.
One out in the inning. Royals looking for the double play ball. The Mets looking for something to tie it, or even bigger from d'Arnaud. That is a fair ball. Tie game. RBI base hit by Travis d'Arnaud. And it's 1-1 here in the fourth. Runners at first and second.
I don't know where Moustakas might have been able to go with this ball. He might have had to go to first base if he gets it anyway. Ball just kicked and got away. Nice piece of hitting and finding a hole. But I don't know if he really has a play if he comes up clean with this.
Yeah, I don't think he did. In fact, it was a great play just to save another 90 feet.
So it's Travis d'Arnaud who ties this game, and now it's the rookie Michael Conforto. Robbed of a hit his first time up. Strike one.
First and third changes everything on the defense because you're drawing guys in on corners. And because he has to honor Murphy over there a little bit, you got d'Arnaud not being able, Moustakas not playing deeper in that situation. So a lot of things happen with Murphy's run to from first to third base, changed the whole half inning.
Here's the 0-1 pitch from Volquez. Conforto pops it up. Playable. Moustakas in foul ground. 2 out.
They've stayed inside all night against Conforto. He has a beautiful swing, reminds me of Carlos Gonzalez, but it's a little bit long, and they think the velocity of Volquez can beat him inside. It's exactly what he did right there. Every pitch he has seen tonight has been hard in. Just a little tardy.
Yeah, you always look at like game one as almost like watching a boxing match, and they fill each other out for the first 2 rounds to see what the other guy's bringing. Game one sets up how they're going to pitch me, how they plan me, what do they think in certain situations. You don't think Kansas City's going to recognize Murphy's going to go to third base every ball hit? You know, so you learn a lot of things. Just like Conforto's going to learn, they're going to pitch him inside.
Here's Wilmer Flores with 2 on, 2 out in the tie game. Strike one, and that caught Perez, and that's just another night at the office for Salvador Perez. Nobody gets hit more than the 25-year-old backstop for the Royals.
See how that right hand hangs down there? Ooh, and that's a product of having base runners on. Normally you might see that hand hiding behind the glove. He is so big, it's like I hit the thumb almost down there, hanging down. Man, that's got to hurt.
He's so big, and it's hard for him to get down as low as most catchers get. So he's not just a big target, he's a higher target.
This is a serious one here. He doesn't take a lot of time. You got Trainer coming out and Ned Yost. If that falls on his thumb and possibly that inside finger, that's how you grip a baseball.
Talk about how many times we've seen him get hit all month. The follow through by Donaldson that caught him on the back of the left hand and the finger. And then in this one, straight into his chest, one off his shoulder, off the mask. Those are the ones that he says will really daze him And we asked him before the game, what hurts you? Here's the one that just happened right off the right thumb and index finger. He pointed to his jaw from those foul tips off his mask, and now he's grabbing the rosin bag to see if he could theoretically grab a baseball.
That's not the greatest hits CD you want to compile.
Ken Rosenthal, what do you have that you can add to that?
The last two games of the ALCS, Perez started wearing a mouth guard. Now, he's done this on and off. He even does it on and off through games. And the idea is to basically keep the jaw in line and to prevent the force from spreading all over the place. It kind of stabilizes the force, makes sure it's spread out evenly. The idea there is to keep the pressure off his neck. Now, he doesn't always wear the mouth guard. It's a habit he has to get into. He likes to chew gum and he likes to chew sunflower seeds, and that is not easy to do with a mouth guard.
Yeah, I don't think he doesn't have the mouth guard in. He's got gum in instead. So hopefully he's okay. Two on, two out, 0-1. The count on Wilmer Flores.
Pitch, that right hand went behind his back.
And rightfully so. He's got Duda at second base. He's got Darno at first. They're not going to run with 2 outs in this situation. So, yeah, he should be putting that behind his back and protecting himself. Great observation, Tom. You see it right there clearly.
Left side, in the hole, it's Escobar. And the inning is over, but the Mets have tied it. The RBI for Darno. Bottom of the 4th here in game 1. Now tied at 1.
I want to get the new iPhone as a little birthday treat for myself.
Oh, great. Well, when you get an iPhone with AT&T, you get the network with the nation's strongest 4G LTE signal. So happy birthday.
Well, thanks. But actually, my birthday's not for another 5 months. I just wanted the new iPhone, but now I feel guilty because you went and got me an awesome network.
Actually, we offer that to everybody.
You're that guy?
Yep.
You didn't even look.
He's part of everybody.
Get the new iPhone at AT&T and the network with the nation's strongest 4G LTE signal. And right now, get $300 credit for every line you switch.
We call ourselves the Greenwood Runners.
The Open Water Paddlers. The Hike Life Trail Club.
For us, it's not about running faster.
It's about being out here together. The feeling is hard to describe. You can't put it into words. But we don't have to.
For friends who come together to reach for better, we brew a superior tasting light beer with fewer carbs and calories. Michelob Ultra, the superior light beer.
Who thinks they can solve this math problem? 2 cars are traveling in the same direction. How long until they collide?
You ready to solve it?
Go.
Go.
Go. What's the answer?
I don't know.
There's a lot to process quickly, right? You want to meet a car that can help do it for you?
I'd love it.
Yeah. The Chevy Equinox offers forward collision alert to help warn you when you're approaching another vehicle too fast, so you can take action.
He's smarter than I am.
The more you learn about your insurance, the more gaps you may find. Like how you think you have coverage for this when you only have coverage for this. That's not homework. Talk to farmers and see what gaps could be hiding in your coverage.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
This is iPhone 6s. Not much has changed with the camera, except how you take a photo, find a photo, share a photo. Ooh, Mom's gonna love that one. Your photos themselves have changed too. They move now. And the camera shoots video in 4K. You can even shoot slow-mo in HD. Wait for it... Splash. So yeah, that's what's changed.
Is on its feet.
Celebrating the year's best. Breaking down the big deals and looking ahead to 2016. With an all-star lineup, including TV's only morning show dedicated to baseball. We live it 24/7, 365, so you can too. MLB Network.
Heavy hitters in this series, heavy hitters on TV's best new comedy. Rob Lowe and Fred Savage are also...
To be your winning team. News 10 ABC in the morning. More stories, more breaking news, more live reports, more weather, and the latest news that affects you. Let News 10 ABC help you win your mornings. Dedicated, determined, dependable.
Truck Month is back at DePaula Chevrolet. Drive with 0 down, 0 security, and 0.
We were having some technical difficulties. Eric Karros and Dontrell Willis here. As soon as those issues are resolved, we'll get you back to Kansas City. As it stands right now, I don't think it's a weather problem because it wasn't raining at the time of this. We lost power to the truck, we're being told, but as soon as we regain power, we will get it back to Kansas City. What have you seen out of Matt Harvey so far, Dontrell?
Well, he looks a little rusty, maybe a little nervous, but that time off might have affected him. We've seen this with other ball clubs. But again, I think the game plan, too, by the Kansas City Royals, being aggressive, not letting him get into the secondary pitches and get a rhythm of that, and attacking the fastball kind of played into that so far.
Well, Alcides Escobar leading off with the inside
First pitch.
the park home run, not messing around, and that's a scouting report. But as you mentioned, Harvey wants to get his rhythm. 1-1 ball game. I don't think it's any different than any of us has expected. Going to come down to the bullpen, and look, a mistake here or there.
You mentioned the inside the park home run. What the heck happened there? It was
so it's the first pitch fastball. Now, if you're talking about Cespedes out in center field doing this and then boom off the back of the glove, not the way you want to start a World Series, especially giving up a run. And you see Alcides, he's swinging at the first pitch, notorious first ball hitter. Now this ball, Cespedes, he just misplays, doesn't field it right, and Escobar, he is off to the races. Boom, it's almost, that's a stand-up inside the park.
And I tell you what, I think the whole team got ambushed. I think they were trying to settle in. They got used to the flyover. A lot of these guys have never been in this experience. I'm young as a young guy going to Yankee Stadium. I'm looking over there and boom, the team that's more experienced is ready and hungry to play. They played right into that and got an early score early.
So if you're the starting pitcher, though, in that situation, that happens, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking, like, what the heck happened? I've had that. I've been up, down 1-0 and up 2-0 in that situation where, you throw a ball away. You've seen the opposite guy just not be ready to play and ready to be attacked. You have to be aggressive. This is the World Series. And I tell you what, the Royals being experienced, they're already out there and they're ready to jump on him early and they played in there.
If you're wondering why you're seeing Dontrell and Eric, it's because we've lost power to our truck in Kansas City. As soon as we regain broadcast functions in Kansas City for Game 1 of the World Series, we will get you back there immediately. What have we seen from Edinson Volquez so far?
Well, he's thrown well, and he's got that late movement. He's got the life on the fastball. He's kept him off bounce. He's thrown a good ball game up to this point. I don't think it's been any different than his previous starts. What happens that third time through the lineup? So that's where Ned Yost is going to have that decision he's going to have to make. Do I go to the bullpen or do I stick with Volquez?
Well, he looks hungry and poised. I definitely like his look and his eyes on the mound. He's hungry as far as the velocity, and he's aggressive out there. Even though he knows they want to attack his fastball, with that type of movement, especially at 96, 97, you could split the play down the middle and still get productive out. He seems to have confidence in his changeup right now. That's a big pitch, especially throwing that hard. I know the hitters don't like throwing the changeup out there, so he's able to establish that and keep them off balance to see if he finishes strong.
How about Game 1 of a World Series for players that have never been there, even for players that have been there? It must be a feeling that you can't even describe.
No, I tell you what, I was the first guy out of the bullpen in the World Series. I did not have my cleats tied and my hat on straight, and that's what happens in the game, and that's what happened in the first play. Guys were not ready, and the baseball gods will bless you, and you're the first guy to get out of the bullpen. So you definitely have to be ready for that.
I hear our music. Does that mean we're going back to Kansas City? Does that mean we're going back to Kansas City right now?
Explanation for this delay is that Fox Broadcasting has taken some kind of a technical glitch, and the U.S. broadcasters of this event are having a broadcast issue, and that may or may not explain why play has been stopped. That's a possible explanation being offered. Most unusual to have a game interrupted this way with no television. I don't know that would be why Terry Collins would come bouncing onto the field as he did. I doubt Terry came charging out there to tell Bill Welke, hey, the game's not on Fox.
A very unusual circumstance, and again, you can see Major League Baseball brass, Joe Torre and Jim Leland and company, they look just as concerned, certainly, as players on the field are at what's now amounting to a lengthy delay. You've got to wonder about this affecting Matt Harvey, John.
Well, like I said, I mean, he just had a beautiful at-bat against Morales. He's thrown all his pitches, got a strikeout. Last thing you think you're going to have is this delay for no weather reason, no confusion, no argument, and you just do the best case scenario. He's thrown some pitches. You can only throw so many. So as a starting pitcher, you basically have to just do your thing, mentally stay locked in, and then when the play resumes, you don't miss a beat.
You know, another explanation as to the pause, this is certainly troubling if there is to be a replay review. We would like to welcome the U.S. audience joining us on MLB International with Hall of Famer John Smoltz, Matt Vasgersian. We're taking over on Fox until the technical issue is resolved, and we'll get you back to Joe Buck, Tom Verducci, and Harold Reynolds in just a moment. Meanwhile, play will resume after the technical difficulties. You didn't miss anything, America.
No.
Because after the strikeout to Kendrys Morales, play stopped when Terry Collins came out onto the field, had a word with home plate umpire Bill Welke. And that's kind of where we've been since. I'm sure a sold-out crowd is wondering why the pause.
They certainly are. They would like to get their team going, and Matt Harvey would love to get going again. As I mentioned, he is in good rhythm right now with all of his pitches.
So now it's Mike Moustakas with one away and the bases empty. He takes a strike. Moustakas lined to left in his first try tonight. 1 out, bases empty, a 1-1 ball game, bottom half of the fourth. And a breaking ball taken for a strike, 0-2.
Yeah, those are 4 or 5 of them now in this inning. We talked about early in our broadcast that the breaking ball would be a key pitch against the Royals hitters who attack the fastballs.
Still a 0-2 count to Mike Moustakas.
Typically a game plan of 61% fastballs out of Matt Harvey. He is nowhere near that, where his off-speed pitches have taken over now in the latter part of the innings. He came out firing with his fastball, and now he's been able to break in the breaking ball. His changeup has been very good, and he's kept the hitters off balance for the most part here with 1 out in the fourth.
We had discussed it earlier, and for the benefit of our Fox audience, I know that you and I were both looking for that kind of big-time velocity plus for Matt Harvey to kind of set the tone tonight. It's been anything but that. He's had the 95, but as you mentioned, we've seen more of the secondary pitches than we thought. In fact, he's thrown his fastball less than half the time to start the night this evening.
And that's what video and watching the lineup and what they'll do to the fastball. It's great cat-and-mouse game that a pitcher has when he's on the mound. Who's going to execute and make the other person change?
Mike Moustakas hanging around, still a 0-2 count.
And obviously the goal is to make the hitters change as a pitcher, and vice versa. If you're up there, you're trying to disturb the rhythm that Matt Harvey has going right now, and you're looking for any mistake. But he has 4 pitches he can go to. That's what makes him so special.
Bounces one to make it a ball and 2 strikes. Well, folks, we're just settling in when Alcides Escobar whacked the first pitch in the bottom of the first inning into the left center field gap. And after a misread by Cespedes and Conforto, it turned into an inside-the-park home run. The first inside-the-park home run in World Series history in quite a while. Moustakas rocks a 1-2 pitch into right. Granderson is there at the track to make the catch. 1929 to be exact, between World Series inside the Parkers. The Mets counter for their run in the top of the fourth on an RBI single by Travis d'Arnaud. And now with 2 out in the bottom of the inning, it'll be Kansas City catcher Salvador Perez.
Matt Harvey got away with a hanging changeup, got underneath that changeup, and it was driven out to right field. Both outfielders cover a lot of ground. You see how Perez's index and thumb finger, his fingers feel on that bat after getting hit.
The ball and no strikes to Perez. And again, we'll get you back out to Joe Buck, Tom Verducci, Harold Reynolds, Aaron Andrews, and Ken Rosenthal on the Fox broadcast as soon as the technical problem is resolved. Until then, with John Smoltz, Matt Vasgersian here on MLB International. And Perez is robbed of potential extra bases on a great grab by David Wright. Through the delay, the Royals go down in order in their half of the fourth. On to inning number 5 in Game 1. The Mets and Royals all tied 1 apiece.
It's the ultimate guys weekend.
I didn't see where it went.
No food, no heat, no problem.
Gonna lie down with a triple spoon like grown-ups.
An all-new Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Sunday, November 8th.
So do we know any songs?
Shut up, Gerald! On Fox.
The Herd. Weekdays at noon Eastern on FS1. Determined to be your winning team. News 10 ABC in the morning. More stories, more breaking news, more live reports, more weather, and the latest news that affects you. Let News 10 ABC help you win your mornings. Dedicated, determined, dependable.
Truck Month is back at DePaula Chevrolet. Drive with 0 down, 0 security, and 0 first month payment.
New Equinox, 0 down, $224 a month.
During Breast Cancer Awareness Month, DePaula Chevrolet will donate $25 for every Chevy sold. DePaula.com.
Why chase trends when you can make a statement? The unmistakable Audi Q5. Experience the distinct Audi Q5 at your local dealer today.
Here's the thing about life. It's always changing, always moving. And you need health insurance that can help you take it on. From MVP Healthcare. Whether you're building a business, raising a family, making a big move, or just enjoying every moment, we have a health plan for you. Your budget, your needs. We are MVP Healthcare, helping you take on life and live well.
Neither snow, nor rain, nor sleet, nor gloom of night stays these swift couriers from the completion of their appointed rounds. Honda HR-V, Honda Pilot, Honda CR-V. All new, all-wheel drive, all the time. Now get the all-wheel drive CR-V for just $209 a month. See your Capital Region Honda dealer today.
Truck Month is back at DePaula Chevrolet. Drive with 0 down, 0 security, and 0 first month payment. New Silverado, 0 down, $239 a month. During Breast Cancer Awareness Month, DePaula Chevrolet will donate $25 for every Chevy sold. DePaula.com.
Back to Joe Buck and company as soon as the technical problems have been fixed. Until then, top half of the 5th, and Kelly Johnson will lead things off for New York. Johnson followed by the top of the order, Granderson and Wright. And so far, so good for both starting pitchers. Edinson Volquez began the night by retiring the first 8 Mets that he faced. He got out of a tight spot in the 3rd. Could have been an even tighter spot in the 4th, but he was able to limit the damage to 1 run for the Mets, and that's where we stand. Kelly Johnson was hit by a pitch in the 3rd. Ended up stranded at second base, as after a base on balls, Volquez struck out David Wright to end the inning. Strike the count to Kelly Johnson.
Well, so far for Volquez, his fastball's been a little sporadic. He has the miles per hour that he needs, but the command has to be a little bit better. His go-to pitch when he needs to make a money pitch has been his changeup. His curveball hasn't quite had the accuracy as Kelly Johnson was hit by one of those curveballs with 2 strikes.
One and two. At 32 years old, Edinson Volquez making his first ever World Series start. We discussed his career postseason success at the start of the telecast. This year, he's been a lot better in the postseason than his numbers would indicate. And now goes to 2-2 on Johnson.
Yeah, a little bit of that late movement can not only catch the hitter, but maybe catches the home umpire here when you see this pitch and the late movement, maybe up a little bit, but nonetheless, the kind of pitch you want as a pitcher to freeze the hitter.
2-2 pitch with some English on it out to shortstop. Escobar with an off-balance throw to get his man. One of the areas the Royals feel like they have a bit of a matchup advantage is their defense up the middle. And Alcides Escobar flashing some good work there.
Well, you mentioned that the English on this ball who's played for the shift. He gets it and throws it. Nobody but
Hi, welcome inside the Fox Sports 1 studios as once again we're having some technical difficulties in Kansas City. Once we regain power to our truck, we will be going back there. Are we heading back there now? Okay, we're heading back. Hopefully Joe Buck is with us this time.
When they start 0-1 against Volquez. Here is his 0-2 to Granderson. He's able to check his swing on a pitch that missed outside. That's big velocity.
Well, he kind of, when he finished, it looks like he flies all over the place. He's in control. It's that front side that goes a little bit haywire at times where it makes that fastball leap away from the intended target.
The breaking ball fouled away.
That's why the changeup and the curveball, you slow yourself down naturally as a pitcher, so you're probably going to be, you don't worry about throwing the ball super hard on these breaking pitches and these changeups. You see one right there he left out over the plate, but his fastball, he's letting it go, and he's letting that velocity and movement take care of itself, and hopefully in the right area.
Two of the hardest throwing staffs in baseball. Granderson takes a 1-2 pitch into right. Back is Rios, and that one is gone! Curtis Granderson delivers the Mets' first World Series lead.
Now, this is a team that relies on the home runs, and Curtis Granderson, as his patience goes, he's got that area up, in, that he doesn't miss. And Volquez gets underneath the fastball. And of course, Granderson, that one area that he loves, he pulls the ball. Only one home run the other way. You cannot miss in that area to Curtis Granderson.
2-1 New York. Now David Wright. And on the first pitch, he grounds to second. Ben Zobrist has it, and there are two away. Curtis Granderson, as we talked about earlier, gives you good at-bat, leads the league in pitches per plate appearance, gets to a 1-2 count there, John, and still goes deep.
Well, again, we talked about the 2-strike hits, the 2-strike home runs, 9 of them, now 10 for the Mets. That's just a location miss. Fastball away, you can see Perez reaches. You never want to reach. When you see a catcher reach, it's not a good sign. And Granderson, along with the guy that's at the plate right now, has made the opponents pay when they make a mistake.
The guy that's at the plate right now, Daniel Murphy, has homered in a postseason record 6 consecutive games, 7 postseason home runs for him in 2015. He has singled, scored, and struck out tonight. The 0-1 is wrapped on the ground to Zobrist. To his left, he's able to make the play, not before the Mets can grab their first lead. A 2-strike count and a home run by Curtis Granderson have made it 2-1 New York.
Is that the only way in? The only way in, the only way out.
We're buried alive.
We want answers.
How long do they have?
No one's gonna help us.
They dig us out, and if they don't, our families will.
We're running out of time.
33 lives are counting on us. The 33, rated PG-13, November 13th.
They don't just build Maytag washers here. They build big, beautiful monuments to dependability. They make sure every bolt, bracket, and gasket is in it for the long haul. Nice work, JB. Looking good, Carl. Because when you're a washer that's designed, engineered, and assembled in America, well, there's a certain standard you have to live up to. One that lets you proudly wear the name Maytag.
Next up at the plate, Giovanni Flip. Greek yogurt with a flip of tasty goodies on the side. It's the break you make.
Too long, this life is too limited.
This season, T-Mobile knocked it out of the park. We doubled our 4G LTE coverage across the country since last year, and the hits keep coming. Our new extended range LTE signal reaches twice as far and is 4 times better in buildings than before. Think you know our LTE coverage? Think again. Share your fan photos and videos with hashtag the Big 7th for a chance to be on TV during the World Series on Fox.
Truck went out, and so literally I was reading a promo for the grinder, and down it went.
Well, there you have it.
Well, it's the curse of Rob Lowe and Fred Savage.
To borrow a line from Bryce Harper, I knew I shouldn't have used that hairdryer today.
It was panic for
well,
a
look,
moment.
We're going to enjoy the telecast now. Smoltz and I are going to step into the back of the room. You want me to leave any of my stuff here for you?
Yeah, if you don't mind. Got it. Like your pencil.
You got it.
All right. Matt Harvey now has the lead because of that Granderson home run. Harold will pick up Matt Vasgersian's headset, and we will continue on here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The batter is Alex Gordon with Alex Rios to follow and Escobar. And I don't know if the power was up when Escobar just made an unbelievable play for the first out in the 5th inning and a ball hit by Kelly Johnson. I tell you, everybody's talking about the offense. The defense is stunning for Escobar as well. Gordon flies one down the left field line. That will get out of play, and the count stays at 1-2.
Well, I'm trying to make sure my mic is still working here. All right.
We started talking about the Dark Knight. It became Silent Night.
Yeah, it was, anyway, we're moving on. 2-1 game here in Game 1 with the Mets on top. A single tally in the 4th inning. The home run by Granderson. And now Matt Harvey gets a strikeout to start the inning.
Tell you what, to me, the difference in this game, I know Granderson just hit a home run. It's 2-1 right now. Murphy had a big run from first to third and set up a run. He scored. But Matt Harvey's been the difference. From the first pitch to the rest of the game, he's gone to the breaking ball, went to the changeup, and got back his fastball. He's at mid-90s. He's been the difference maker because early on they were attacking him, putting the ball in play. He's been very effective right now.
Here's Rios. Fly to center his first time. And that one takes off out of the right hand of Harvey, ball 1.
Well, what he's doing now is he's starting to get the swings and misses. We talked about that at the top. That can define this series, the power pitching the Mets against this deep, aggressive lineup. Only had 4 swings and misses out of the first 27 swings, but now the off-speed stuff is getting the misses.
Here's a high fly ball into left off the bat of Rios. Just got under it. Conforto is there, and that's out number 2.
Well, we always talk about misses being swings and misses, but that's a miss as well. And when you got enough velocity to go up on a guy like he did right there in the strike zone on Rios, you're going to get guys who miss pitches and pop them up. So the velocity's not 97, But I'm going to tell you, 95, 93, that's still getting the ball in there good enough. And he's now set up his off-speed stuff to make that fastball look even faster.
Well, here's Escobar. And if you're just joining us, Alcides Escobar, who was the MVP of the ALCS, swung at the first pitch. If you watch the ALCS, that doesn't surprise you. And he sent one into left center field that Cespedes didn't see real well, and then it went off the glove and arm of Cespedes for an inside-the-park home run on a ball that very well could have and probably should have been caught. That's the only run of the night for Kansas City.
That's the only fastball Escobar has seen from Matt Harvey.
Here's a 1-1. Left side in the hole. Flores, long throw. He got him. What a play. And for a guy who struggled with a glove and defensively early on in the year, Alcides Escobar gets a taste of his own medicine. What a play by Wilmer Flores. And that sends us into the 6th inning, game 1. 2-1, Mets on top.
A better network as explained by Adore. This is data on a wireless network.
Look, a door!
Let's all go through it together! When it gets busy, it can get overwhelmed, like this. A better network prepares for heavy traffic with more capacity.
The door is bigger!
A better network like Verizon, for instance.
I'm ready for a big door!
20 years ago, Pixar created the world's first computer-animated feature. This Thanksgiving, the creators of Toy Story, Finding Nemo, and Inside Out take another leap forward.
We need to get home.
Disney Pixar's The Good Dinosaur. November 25th in 3D, rated PG.
You're finally here. Long way from the Sandlot. First game in the majors? You don't know ARP, because this family is enjoying a cross-country baseball stadium trip they planned online at AARP Travel. It's where your journey begins with inspiration, planning, booking, and hot travel tips from real pros. If you don't think seize the trip when you think AARP, then you don't know ARP. Find more surprising possibilities and get to know us at aarp.org/possibilities.
So how did you get this gold PS4?
So last week I ran into this guy, Dimitri Two Hands. He used to run with the mob. Anyway, his goons boosted some booty on from the Kamarov vault. But the bars were marked, so they had to melt them down. Now it's in a cookhouse. You know the right guys and have the dinero. People are dipping all sorts of stuff in it. That's how.
Really? Because I heard that you can only win it at Taco Bell.
Grab a quesarito or Volcano Quesarito Big Box for a chance to win a limited edition gold PS4 bundle. There's a winner every 10 minutes.
I used to get really stressed out putting my personal info in these online shopping forums. Last name. How about last time? Now I breathe easy with the ancient art of yoga. And MasterPass. This pose is called Downward Facing Hog.
Yoga's hard, right? Come on back. Work for me.
The easier way to shop online. MasterPass from MasterCard in your bank. It's the shortcut to Priceless.
Voice of Matt Vasgersian, and that was something that has not happened in the World Series since Game 2 of the 1903 World Series. A leadoff inside the park home run off the bat of Escobar. And that got this game underway offensively for the Royals. But since then, Matt Harvey has taken over. And he's doing what Matt Harvey does best, and that is dominate a lineup as the man who was involved in that play in left center field. Yoenis Cespedes leads off, takes a ball from Edinson Volquez here with the Mets leading 2-1 6th inning. Cespedes, then Duda, then Darnell. The 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Wants to keep that ball above the hands of Cespedes. This guy's got the fastest hip since Elvis. Anything inside and down is in the nitro zone for Cespedes. Away and up is where you have to attack.
Here's a 1-1. That is to the left of Escobar and into the outfield for a base hit. Cespedes on for the first time tonight, and that comes leading off in the 6th.
You know, his swing is so simple. There's not a lot of movement to it. Just simple setup. Bring his hands back and then let it fly. And that's why the improvement this year has really worked for Cespedes. Before, he was very vulnerable. 3 years, 4 years of the slider, the ball down and away. He's made that great adjustment, and he's really taken off as a big-time, big league player. Now we're back to that due to shift again. And in this situation with no outs, I wonder, will we see something similar to what we saw with Murphy being able to go first to third? It just changes how you got to defend when you pull into the shift.
We saw that on Duda's hit back in the 4th inning, led to the first run of the night for the Mets, as Duda takes a strike. Lucas now 5 for his last 9. And starting this postseason, 2 for 21. "27 home runs during the regular season." Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Volquez got it by him, strike 2. We had a delay. Not only did our truck go out, but word came down that because there was no video feed, New York in the replay room was not getting what they needed. We had a bit of a delay when Terry Collins went out, and at Yost, they got together, talked to Joe Torre, who is here. And for a while, and I would imagine it's no longer the case, these managers evidently agreed to play the game without the use of replay.
Oh my goodness, no replay? We're going to play?
Going back to the Stone Age.
But Terry Collins was hot out there because he didn't want Matt Harvey standing around. He needs Harvey to go deep into this game, and Harvey is settled in. Duda takes ball 1.
Well, and I think these are the critical innings that you move into. The Royals bullpen can cover 6, 7 to the 8th inning. The interesting thing will be, can the Mets? So the pressure's on Harvey to be able to bridge that gap as deep as they can go to the 8th or 9th inning to their setup guys.
Interesting to see Volquez there with the slide step. With the late kick, he is very slow to the plate.
The 1-2. Hard hit, right side, base hit. Off the glove of Moustakas and going first to third, just like we saw back in the 4th inning, albeit with Murphy running. Over to third goes Cespedes, and it's runners at the corners with nobody out.
Now we talk about the adjustments you're going to see made in this series. I think you see a change here. Because he's going to get a fastball that runs, Duda stays on it, and he pulls it like they expect him to. But this is a problem. Now you're first and third on a routine ground ball that gets away, okay? If he dives and it gets by, now you're first and second, no problem. This changes the whole half inning. You got no outs and a runner goes to third base unscathed. So I think as this series progresses, this is one of the things I will watch and see. Will the Royals say, forget that, we're going back to our conventional style where we've been able to defend all season long.
Meanwhile, Luke Hochevar is getting ready for the Royals out in their bullpen. The Mets went 0 for 8 their first time through the lineup. They had a hit batsman out of that number 9 spot with Kelly Johnson. Since then, 6 for 13. So they've figured out Volquez. They have a lead, and they have a chance to add to it here in the 6th. Darno, an RBI infield single his last time up. He's 1 for 2. Tailing pitch upstairs for ball 1.
See, what has happened now, you forced Escobar to come in. He's playing basically infield in, and so is Zobrist. Ball hits sharp out, and they might think about 2, but they're now in the 6th inning. They're going to start cutting runs off at the plate.
Here's a 1-0. That's a strike.
Yeah, I agree. I'm watching Cespedes get off at third base, and he's responding to the ball out of Volquez's hand as if a contact play is on, where he will break towards the plate. And with his speed, I love the play.
Mets have a one-run lead, a chance for more. Here's a 1-1. Ball 2.
Well, they've got the best of both worlds. If you don't send him, and they double him up, and then he goes when the pivot's turn to pick up the run. But if he doesn't and you get one out, you got Conforto coming up with a runner on third base and one out. So they can work it a lot of ways.
Back-to-back singles to start the inning. Cespedes, then Duda. Here comes a 2-1 pitch. Upstairs as Volquez doesn't get the call. It's 3-1, and Hochevar is ready to go if needed out in the bullpen.
Ball's up.
One pitch is fouled back, and what a swing by d'Arnaud.
He's been leaving his off-speed pitches up this entire inning. Change-ups and the spike curveball. Really none of them have been down.
Got him looking one away.
Put a little extra giddy up on that fastball. d'Arnaud did not react. Paints it on the outside half, and he just caught him in between. Look at that run that comes back. It looks like it's going to be a ball. That's why you see the reaction with the check swing. But that ball is moving about 6-8 inches coming back over the plate for a strike.
It's a big pitch for Volquez. Now they back up in the infield. Middle infielder's looking for a double play ball. Here's Conforto. In the air to left. Gordon will come up ready to throw. Cespedes coming to the plate. Here's the throw. It's 3-1.
That man stole him a run. The first to third play, I know I'm harping on it a lot, but it changed this whole half inning. That's 2 runs tonight the Mets have scored on a ground ball to the right side and the runner going to third base.
Conforto gets the RBI. That's his 3rd of the postseason. The throw by Gordon ballooned a little bit, and Cespedes reminds everybody just how fast he is.
You know, when Cespedes came over from Cuba, and there was a workout video, everybody's trying to figure out what kind of player is he. He had this black spandex outfit on, and he looked like the second coming of Bo Jackson. I mean, athletic and fly. The thing that stood out more than anything on his video was how fast he was. And we got a chance to see a taste of it right there.
Now runner at second, 2 out for Wilmer Flores. Alex Gordon out in left. 67 assists since the beginning of 2011. The most in the big leagues, but not here. And that is a diving stop, Moustakas. What a play to save a run. How about that from Kansas City? As Moustakas makes the play to his right and takes a run off the board for the Mets, who have added to their lead on the sac fly by Conforto. We're headed back to...
Let's hide in the attic.
No, in the basement. Why can't we just get in the running car?
Are you crazy? Let's hide behind the chainsaws.
Smart. Yeah, okay.
If you're in a horror movie, you make poor decisions. That's what you do.
I'm being quiet. Breathing on me.
If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
Now that we have merged with Cable World, we are so excited to hear your big ideas on how we're going to take on DirecTV. So over to you.
Thank you. Full disclosure, we forgot to come up with ideas.
We got messed up last night. You're lucky we're even here.
But we did bring breakfast. Bagels? Nope.
Oh my goodness.
Peel and eat shrimp.
Not how I would have gone, but it's good. It's innovative, and that's what we want here.
Get rid of cable and switch to DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Take my heart a treasure, so big it's hard to measure. You find my lock and key, an open box of dreams of you, you're my September. You just gotta try.
This game moves into the bottom of the sixth inning. Digging for second, and he will stop there with a first pitch leadoff double.
And Joe, that's a guy who almost never swings at the first pitch. He ambushes Matt Harvey right there. The fastball up, turning on it. Four-seam rip up over the plate. You see how he was anticipating that pitch to get out in front of the fastball away.
And this is the cat and mouse as you start to go through a lineup again and hitters see how you're starting to pitch him. But Joe, this is a critical time for Matt Harvey this sixth inning, sixth and seventh, trying to get that bullpen to their strength in the eighth and ninth.
That broke up a string of 11 straight retired by Harvey. Here's Kane. 3-1 game. Strike one.
That's what he's been doing a better job of since the early innings. Throwing his secondary pitches earlier in the count. Back to the slider right there on Kane.
I think it's critical in this situation for Kane to get this runner over if you don't drive him in.
The Mets have made a defensive change as Kane gets a base hit into right. Zobrist will be held. And it's first and third, nobody out.
That's a terrific piece of hitting. Look, he gets a slider to first pitch. Right there trying to shoot the ball to the right side. He gets a little cutter, stays with it, and drives it to the right side. He gets what I call the double bonus. You get the runner over and you get a base hit. But I love the approach. His thought was the right side. And why I said that, you have Hosmer coming up. You got to pick up some kind of run off of Harvey after you have a leadoff double in this half inning.
And Kane's been doing it all postseason. He's been pitched consistently away, and he's a number 3 hitter who will not get too big. He will take the pitch away and go the other way.
Tying runs are on for the Royals here in the sixth inning. The batter will be Hosmer. Juan Lagares has come into the game in center. Yoenis Cespedes moves from center to left. Conforto's out. Lorenzo Cain with that hit to right has now reached successfully in 16 straight in the postseason. By hit, by walk, by hit, by pitch. In that number 3 spot. With men on, Hosmer has come to life this postseason. Strike 1 from Harvey.
That's a big strike, and I like the thrower by Harvey as well. You talked about getting ambushed by the fastball. Cain will steal an ambush here too, and you set himself second and third.
Bartolo Colon getting loose. Strike 2. Lagares in center field. Tagging is Zobrist. Here's the throw home. It's cut off. It's a one-run game.
I was watching the throw from center, and the only thing I was thinking was don't let Cain tag up and go to second. It's a good thing he hit the cutoff. That ball started to sail on him. If it sails, Cain's at second base.
So trying to get loose on this cold night is the new center fielder, Gold Glove Award winner, Juan Lagares. It's a 55-degree night when we started. The temperature has dropped a bit since, and on this damp night, Game 1 is a one-run affair now. Here's Morales. And again, we obviously have to apologize for losing power on this wet night here in Kansas City. Back here now in a 3-2 game. Harvey brings it. Morales. Strike 1.
That's a good sign for Matt Harvey. Challenge fastball. You know these guys swing first pitch, and he gets by a great fastball hitter.
And you saw the swing from Morales. He's trying to lift. He hits any thing on the ground with that recovering ankle. It's a double play ball.
And I don't think Matt has his A-plus fastball tonight. But I'll tell you this, of all the Mets starters, no one knows how to use their assortment of pitches better than Matt Harvey. And that's what he needs to do tonight, and has been.
Inside the park home run on the first pitch to Alcides Escobar. Harvey has settled in since the second. He retired 11 straight before this 6th inning began with a double by Zobrist, a base hit by Cain, a sac fly by Hosmer. After the Mets have gone to work with single runs in the 4th, 5th, and 6th, they lead at 3-2.
Mr. Cain.
It's all the same thing. Here comes a 1-1. Runner goes, throw down, too late. Not close.
Tell you what, he picked out a great pitch too. He got a change up to run on. And the first thing I was thinking of, a lot of times as a base runner, you peek in and see that sign, you're going. Clearly a great jump. I don't know if he saw it's going to be a changeup, but he doesn't have a big lead, but he gets a little bit of a walking lead, and he's off and going.
Tying run at second. stabs it. 2 out. Well, with the stolen base by Lorenzo Cain, all of America can steal a free AM Crunch Wrap from Taco Bell on November 5th from 7 to 11 a.m. So run in to score yours, steal a base, steal a breakfast, and thanks to Lorenzo Cain here in the 6th inning representing the tying run, Taco Bell is on the hook for free breakfast.
Wow, that's everybody in America. That's a big hook.
Wow. Well, now Moustakas. What a play Mike Moustakas made to end the top of this inning to save a run. On a diving play to his right down the line, he got the out to Rob Flores. Ball 1.
I always find it interesting looking at the defense, how they decide to defend a certain guy. You got the shortstop dead behind second base. David Wright's plan to take away that hole, what Tony Gwynn just called a 5.5 hole. And then you got Murphy deep on the right side in the outfield.
Harvey battling here in the 6th. 1-0 pitch. 2-0.
Has to obviously stay away from the middle of the plate with a fastball here. He's gone soft the first 2 pitches, the breaking ball to Moustakas. Still have to pitch him right here as if you're ahead.
You get the right-hander Salvador Perez sitting on the on-deck circle with 2 outs.
Now play pretty close.
Well, with the shortstop sitting right there, you don't really have to put on a timing play. He just breaks and Harvey wheels because he's sitting right there. That's a nice look for an out any way you can get it. He breaks in. Harvey sees him, spins and turns. Look, you got 2-0 count on the hitter. You may as well try to get an out any way you can. He didn't throw. It's easy for Flores just back right up where he's at.
2-0 to Moustakas. That's into right center, and this game is tied.
Well, we knew there'd be some offense, Joe, but I didn't know we were going to see a base running clinic. The stolen base by Cain, the 2 great base running plays by the Mets have produced 3 runs in this game.
And he did stay soft through the changeup to Moustakas, who's right on it. Trying to sink this down and away, but it stays up. And that's a great job by Moustakas to stay on that baseball.
And he had to have a little bit of an idea of the way they pitched in the first 2 pitches and the mindset of a National League pitcher. You got to know he's pitched around lineups a lot with the pitcher in the National League lineup. You're looking for outs in certain ways, and I know he was sitting there thinking, this is my guy now. I want to get to the right-hander. Nice pitch hit by Moustakas, hit that changeup.
Perez lined out his last time up. That came after he took a foul tip off his thumb earlier in this game, and then it back by Wilmer Flores. He's as tough as they come. Center field, Lagares is back, and that ends the inning. But not before the Royals tie it with 2 in the 6th. In the top of the 6th inning, Moustakas made the play on a dive to save a run, and then he drives in the tying run. Big night for Mike Moustakas, tied at 3 after 6 in Game 1. Back after this from your local Fox station.
Saturday on Fox.
top Pac-12 quarterbacks duel in a Wild West Coast shootout. Jared Goff leads the Golden Bears against Cody Kessler and the Trojans. USC, Cal, Saturday at 3 on Fox.
You say it's one of the most haunted places around. Lots and lots of spirits, from glowing orbs to ghost soldiers.
We actually stopped the tour because we had so much activity going on.
Are these just ghost stories or something really out of this world? Thursday at 10 on Fox 23.
The pain was very intense, not allowing me to do anything.